morning. So, last session we had seen what are the principles of business ethics and the essential elements of business ethics. Now, let us see the types of business ethics. There are types of ethics which are meta ethics, normative ethics, applied ethics, and descriptive ethics. Similarly, in types of business ethics, we have something called transactional ethics, participatory ethics, recognition ethics. What is transactional ethics? In business, if you take, there are a lot of transactions which are happening in a daily basis. So, according to this, the transaction should be beneficial for both the parties, for the person who is selling as well as the person who is getting the things or who is buying the things. So, transactional ethics is that domain of ethics covering transaction that are performed on the basis of simultaneous or connected interests and that are general by the principle of equality, honesty, reciprocity is indicated as the domain of transactional ethics. For example, when you are going to a vegetable market and approaching a vegetable vendor, you will be expecting from the vegetable vendor fresh fruits and vegetables in a reasonable price. Similarly, the vegetable vendor expects you to pay the price of the vegetables according to the quality and the quantity which he is selling. So, both of the vendor as well as the buyer is doing the transaction based on a agreement, or let's see, based on the principle of honesty and reciprocity. Honesty, principle of honesty means you are expecting that the vegetable vendor will be honest with you and will be selling only the ones which are fresh. Similarly, the vendor will be selling you the product based that you will be paying the amount for the product which you are receiving. Okay, that is principle of honesty. Principle of reciprocity is like when I act to you rationally, you will also act rationally with me. So that is reciprocity. There should be a relation which should be there between the vendor as well as the buyer, and it should be like the principles of equality and honesty and reciprocity. That is, what is expecting from you should be met by the other person and vice versa. So that is about transactional ethics. It is a domain of ethics covering transactions that are performed on the basis of simultaneous or connected interests that are general by the principle of equality, honesty, and reciprocity. Next one is participatory ethics. It is about the shape of solidarity in an age of individualization. Since we are all living in a society, this is the ethics of civil society, which rediscovered the solid ground for collective arrangements for both marked and state fail. In participatory ethics, we believe in two principles, or it is guided by two moral principles: principle of decency and principle of enunciation. Principle of decency is nothing but you should treat the other person not as a commodity or a factor of production, but with dignity and decency. Second one, principle of enunciation. It is the special attention which is given to the least powerful in order to defend those. Best example in participatory ethics is when you are working in a business environment, working as a team, And when you are telling as a team means you should be able to give that equal opportunity to everyone based on their capability, as well as sometimes you will have to go one step beyond that comfort zone and help those who are weak or who are low performers to come up. So that is about participatory ethics. So transactional ethics, principle of honesty, and principle of reciprocity was the principle guiding transactional ethics. In participatory, it is principle of decency and principle of enunciation. Next one, or the last one, is recognition ethics. Recognition ethics is something like the ability to understand the problems of others. Okay, for example, the pension policies which are there. By the year 5760, the old people retire to give opportunity to the young people or younger colleagues so that they are able to grow up in their career. So this recognition ethics is based on two principles: principle of recognition and principle of beneficence. Principle of recognition means that you have to recognize the efforts which are being done by others, and you should be helping others to move on. So that is, you have to recognize the work, you have to recognize the opportunity that need to be given to a person, and based on that, this ethics is formed. Next one, principle of beneficence. Beneficence in the sense it refers to a normative statement of moral obligation to act for others' benefit. Okay, so helping them to further their important and legitimate interests, sometimes by preventing or removing possible harms. Okay, uh, even though we may be capable to work more in the age of 60 years, we are moving away for the new younger workforce to come forward. So that is the one of the examples of recognition ethics. So in today's class, we have seen the different types of business ethics. First being transactional ethics, which is based on two principles: principle of honesty and principle of reciprocity. The second one being participatory ethics, where it is based on two principles: principles of decency and principle of enunciation. Example, a worker who is helping a new employee, or a team which is giving equal opportunity to everyone to grow. Next one, recognition ethics. It is based on two principles: principles of recognition and principle of beneficence. In this one, you are giving opportunity to others or taking into account the others' need as well. So these are the three different types of business ethics. Hope you understood. In case of any clarification, please do it during the discussions. Thank you.